Warning, this web TV show has been created by a radical warrior man for modern radical warrior men. If you are not a warrior male who is ready to be liberated, are easily offended, or generally just a pussy, save yourself now and stop this life-liberating video immediately. Although created for warrior men, warrior women are always welcome.
Hey everybody, this is Garrett J. White, the Master Coach Mentor and creator of the Warrior 90-Day Challenge, where I take today's modern, male, warrior entrepreneurs on a unique journey I call the Warrior's Way to having it all. Having it all in your body, shredded, lean, and powerful. Having it all in your balance of your relationships with your wife and children. Having it all in your beingness and your spiritual connection with God. And ultimately having it all in your business and getting paid. For a free 4-part video training to teach you more about what it is to live the Warrior's Way and how to have it all as a warrior today, check it out at wakeupwarrior.com. In today's episode, we're going to cover 3 powerful conversations. Conversation number 1 is why you must dig deep into your darkness. Conversation number 2 is why you must face your demons. And conversation number 3 is the power of real-world marketing. Welcome here to Wake Up Warrior TV. This is episode number 11. Let's get started now. Conversation number 1, digging deep into your darkness, my brother. Now you might be asking me, well, Garrett, number 1, what is darkness? I'm gonna have you consider that darkness itself is all the shit in your life you don't want to take a look at. It's all the emotional feelings you don't want to engage in. It's all the things in your life that you don't want to actually expose. This darkness itself is actually the access point to your power. Now, I know that sounds odd because oftentimes we've been told that our light itself is the access point, that the kingdom of heaven is found within, that all of these things out there exist. And although this is true, I'm going to have you consider that the way to power is to dive deep into your darkness. Let me give you an example. We have a garbage disposal, probably like you, not any brand new or miraculous creation. And my wife was out of town for a couple weeks and my nanny and I were having issues with what? The garbage disposal. It wasn't working. Now, I didn't really investigate it real clearly. All I knew was this. There was a stench coming from the sink, there were bugs flying all around, and there was all kinds of shit sitting on the top of the sink. Now, she was convinced it was broken, and so was I. So I phoned up the individual who I thought could fix it, and they said, well, have you tried this, 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 and this, and this? So I tried those things, and it still didn't work, and I was blown away by all of the bugs and the stuff and all of the nastiness up top. Now, as I started to investigate more clearly, I thought, you know what? Let me check and see if there's something down inside the garbage disposal that's causing it not to work. And I reached down inside, and when I reached in there, what I found was a dirty rag. That's right, my friend, a rag that had been torn up and spun up within the garbage disposal until it seized the ability for the garbage disposal to work. This rag smelled horrible, had nastiness in it, food in it, disgusting stuff. I mean, it was bad enough it was making me dry heave over the whole thing. But as I sat back and I started to look at it, I thought, how many times in our life does the bugs and the flying and all the shit and all the stuff around us, and we think, oh, it must be all of this, and we try to spray the bugs like I was, or flap them with a 5-high swatter, or we try to excuse away the things on the surface without a willingness to dive into the depth of the source of the problem. Now, I want you to consider that in your life, that the surface results that you're getting, these are not the problems. The problems in your life exist underneath those things that you see, ultimately down to the core source of the results that you're seeing. In your life, just like with the garbage disposal, you've got to be willing to go deep. You've got to be willing to look past the surface issue, past the surface conversation, past even your surface thoughts, emotions, and ideas, and be willing to go deep to find the source. What I think you'll find, just like when I released the garbage disposal of this cloth and it worked just fine, that in your life, when you're able to rid yourself of these root-based, source-based types of dirty rags, everything else works fantastic. I'm happy to note that after we figured this out, the garbage disposal worked great and no one was needed to come out to the house. Conversation number 2. You know what to do. Face your demons. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this concept then of facing our demons. It links into our first conversation we've had in this episode, which was what? To dive deep into your darkness. See, what you find when you dive deep into your darkness are the demons of your own destruction, meaning the things in your life that you are terrified to take a look at. Now, to emphasize this point, I'm going to tell you another story. That's right, it's story time with Daddy, Papa, Garrett, J. White. So back during my most traumatic times of my life, after I lost everything in banking, all my businesses disappeared, my marriage was in shambles, my life was in shambles, and I was started at the base levels of warrior, trying to recreate the power of who I was. At that time, I started to look inside of me, and one of the activities that I became addicted to in trying to find me was running. And running itself, I began to run further and further and further until I got to a place where I was competing in 100, 150 mile, and 200-mile foot races, running by myself with no sleep. And so in order to prepare your body for that kind of training, that kind of racing, you've got to train a lot. One morning I found myself early in the morning, 3 in the morning, running down a trail up in the Rocky Mountains. And as I ran down that trail with my outfit on, my jacket and my hat, I had a headlamp right here on the top of my head. And as I ran down the trail all by myself, I could see these eyes at the end of the trail, these beady eyes looking at me. I didn't know if it was a bear, if it was a deer, if it was a dog, if it was a wolf, it was a whatever, a mountain lion, a cougar, a jaguar, a lion, whatever. I knew it was something though. I could feel my heart rate increasing and my breathing expanding as I continued to run towards these eyes, these shimmering eyes. As I got up closer, I realized it was a dog that was out there in the middle of the wilderness, out in the middle of this forest, nowhere. As I looked at the dog, the light itself shined on through the darkness into the eyes of this dog, and the dog stayed still. Now I began to walk slowly past the dog with the lamp shining on that dog, and as I turned around, just like I'm turning to you, I didn't have an access point to see the dog anymore. All I had was what? Darkness into the dog. Now, the minute this happened, the dog began to chase after me, and I could feel my heart rate again accelerate, and I turned quickly with the lamp that was on top of my head, shining it into the eyes of this dog, and the dog froze. Then I would turn back around, and I would start running down the trail, and I would hear the dog coming again. And I would turn around, shine the lamp from my head onto the dog's eyes, and the dog would freeze. And I want you to consider that this is what your demons are in your life. That every time that you turn to run away from the demons and the darkness that you find as you dive deep into that void, every time you try to run, to ignore, pretend like it's not existing there, and you shut off your light, the demons become massive and scary and treacherous, and they chase you, brother. But if you're willing to take out the light, willing to take the headlamp just like I did and shine it at the dog, what I think you'll find is this, that your demons only have power because of the dreams of delusion that you're giving them. See, the fear about the lawsuit that you're facing, the fear about the conversation with your wife that you don't want to have, the fear about the conversation with your body and other people you don't want to have, the fear of the taxes that you haven't paid, fear of the business that's not working, fear of the past that's creeping up into your life. Realize that the fastest way, brother, for you to be free, the fastest way for you to be free is to stand and to gaze and shine your light into the void we call the darkness, and to face your demons. What I found in my experience in training thousands of warriors just like you is that when we stop running, brother, and you stand and you fight, when you stand and you fight and you are ready to begin blowing the game instead of what? Instead of running away, what happens, these demons in your mind get seen for what they truly are. Your demons are not your problem. The problem is the fear that you run from these demons. Stand up today, warrior. Face these demons today, warrior. Take on the challenges and the problems in your life that you do not want to deal with, because it is through this process that you access power. And the demons no longer have their power, because seen in the light without the shadows and the obscurity and the illusions, they are seen for what they truly are, which is merely lessons for you to learn and to grow and to expand with. All right, conversation number 3. Let's have a little talk about real world marketing. Now, recently I was hanging out in a mastermind with one of my mentors, Kevin Nations, and a few of my posse known as the family. And at this hangout, I sat out by the pool with my laptop writing email copy, marketing that I was sharing with the marketplace, warriors just like you, at video series called wakeupwarrior.com. And in these emails, I was sharing them and writing them and typing them up and bringing concepts into my marketing. I started to realize, just like I have so many times, that my life itself is my marketing, and that my marketing itself is my life, and that my life itself is a message, and that message itself is my marketing, and that my marketing of my message, which is really about me, that the meanness is there nothing more than the clarity of what I see from having looked into the depth of darkness inside of me. See, this is why I say this third conversation is so important, because when you're willing to take step number one, which is dive deep into your darkness and find the source of your pain. Second, you're willing to face that pain and to look at those demons. What you have available to you is you have learning. And I want you to consider, brother, that the learning that you're looking for in your life, that learning is also learning the people around you are trying to figure out. And if you're willing to dive into that learning within your own life, what opens up for you is an opportunity to share that learning with the world. That learning, when we share it and we package it, we position it, whether through videos like this TV series, through audios like my radio show at Wake Up Warrior or WarriorSundaySermon.com, regardless of where it is, whether it's text on your Facebook, a picture on Instagram or Pinterest, however you're marketing your message, when you make your life your message, and your message is your marketing, and your marketing is your message, and your message is about you and about your journey, what you have is not only increased money, but what you have is real world marketing. See, I wasn't a really smart guy when it came to business. I wasn't a really smart guy about pushing out content. But what I do know is 1 million people have seen these videos in 11 weeks. And I can tell you that the reason that's happening is, yes, because I understand the mechanics of marketing, but I also want you to consider, because the marketing that I share is part of my life. And see, warrior, your message in your life is powerful. But see, if you're unwilling to dive into the darkness, if you're unwilling to look at the demons in your past, if you're unwilling to clarify the learning and the growth and the journey that you've taken, then you don't see the value inside of you. And when you don't see the value inside of you, you definitely don't share it, because the value inside of you is what you share with the world. It's the growth of God within you saying, listen, brother, you're growing, and it's time. It's time for you to take that learning and to share it with the world. And see, when you use your phone, this beautiful device called a smartphone, to take pictures, yeah, everybody calls them selfies, but I'm not talking about some picture inside your bathroom with your pants off. I'm talking about something that promotes the movement that you've been called to lead. So there I sat on the side of the pool, and I took a picture of my bare naked feet with my, well, I guess there's my nude shot. My bare naked feet with the pool and my laptop. A friend of mine said, dude, it doesn't look like you're getting much done over there except for taking pictures. And yet if you took a close look at that picture, what did I say? Wake up, warrior. Did you invest today? Stop being a cheap bastard. See, this is part of my message, which is part of my path, which is part of me, which is part of my marketing. And see, marketing today is about really being honest about your life. Marketing is about sharing with the world the problems that you've solved in your own life, discoveries that you found along the journey of heading from your hell called prison to the paradise and your possibility. And when you're willing to share the path that it took to go from that prison to go to that paradise, that path is the map, and that map is the money, and that money is your marketing, and that marketing is your message, and that message is about me, and it's about you. So as you stand back and you stress out, whether you're an online marketer, you're an offline marketer, as a warrior entrepreneur, stop trying to make your marketing so complicated. Just step up to the plate and realize that your message itself has always been inside you. So follow step number 1 in today's conversation. Dive deep into your darkness. Follow step number 2. Confront your demons. Follow step number 3, which is quit making your marketing so complicated. Just have your marketing be part of the conversation that exists within inside of you, and that inside of you message is dying to be marketed. But unless you clarify the message, your marketing has no power. So if you're ready to take that on in your life, and you're ready to figure out, how do I take my message and make it my marketing, and how do I make my marketing my message and ultimately have it all, you're in good luck. Because here in Warrior episode number 11, I'm going to end up this episode the same way I do every single week, which is simply letting you know this: that if you want more deep dive training on the conversation of what it takes to be a warrior in today's marketplace, how to live and breathe as an entrepreneur warrior, and how to have it all in your body, your balance, your beingness, and your bank accounts in your business, check it out today for a free 4-part video series at wakeupwarrior.com. For all the rest of you, if you got value from today's episode, and all of you have, my goodness, thank you so much for what you're doing and sharing these videos all over the world, with people consuming literally thousands and tens of thousands and now millions of views of these TV episodes here at Wake Up Warrior TV. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful that this is giving value to, and I'm grateful that God has called me to share the message that I share with you every single week. So if you got value, you know what to do. Go ahead and share this video up on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, bing, and have a fantastic rest of your week. And as we wrap up, remember one powerful thing here in life as a modern warrior entrepreneur, that your power comes down to the simple and unique formula of authenticity. Be real, get raw, stay relevant today.
Yeah, you know what to do now. For that free 4-part video series, check it out today at wakeupwarrior.com.